That's what I was doing when I missed Cindy's call.
Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com.
For the latest on the greatest place to hang in town, with ocean views, delicious food, and good times. About, hey, darling, do you want to know what's going on? Listen up to Lee and Joe and get your giggle on. The world according to Waldos. The world according to Waldos. It's the world according to Waldos. It's the WRLD according to Waldos. Get yourself down there today. Hey!
The boys are back in town.
Yes,
well, you know,
you left town, not us.
We're dusting you off and putting your ass back to work, Miss Donna. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah. You have no idea, and actually, if I wasn't too cheap to Uber in, I'd probably be there in person. But next week, I promise, I think I get released to
don't
drive
do too much too
week.
fast.
So, yeah, the thing is, I could drive now, except for the Mustang is a muscle car, so the power steering is a little bit more aggressive. You have to work at it, and my left arm is kind of at a place. So
if you can't, just let me know, and I'll swing down and pick you up before the show. Yeah,
I almost did that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Sure.
I almost did that.
Although, what's the difference? You're in the in the room with us, but you're not on camera because apparently you're camera shy.
Are they thinking I'm going to Skype? Because no, we're not doing that. Although I probably look better than I've looked in a long time. That the cleaning crew came in yesterday. I answered the door in bathrobe and slippers and hair awry, and they were like, "Oh my God, you look so good!" And I was like, "Oh God, how bad did I look before?" I was like, and it's really bad when it's the cleaning crew.
So Humpty Dumpty, because you fell off the wall and they put you back together again. But a lot of the people that listen to our show have been asking, well, what the hell happened to Donna? And I didn't really get into it because, honestly, it's none of their business until you're ready to talk.
Yeah.
So we are dedicating today's show to you.
Because we have nothing, as you do. You know how hard it was to do the show without you?
I feel so special.
You should.
No, I got to tell you.
We ain't that long-winded, I'm telling you.
I've learned an awful lot, too, stuff I didn't know about. I was born with something that is very benign, very normal, happens to a lot of Italian women, born with a slight, benign little bump in the road with your heart where it skips a beat every now and again.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically the only thing that meant was if I went to the dentist, I had to take antibiotics. That was the only, thing that was a pain in the neck about it. But it's called a QT syndrome, and mine is hereditary. So, my father died at 59.
Mm-hmm.
His parents lived well into the 90s.
Uh-huh.
So apparently,
it skips a generation.
I inherited this thing where that little skip a beat, all of a sudden, the electricity in my heart got mistimed, and it let me go for 30, 40, 50 seconds, and I flatlined. And so, very scary, especially since I didn't see the white light.
Your light was red? That too is an inherited trait from the Italians.
I saw a bottle of Jack Daniels 6 foot tall and 3 feet wide.
4 times, no white light, but very peaceful, but no white light. So I'm a little concerned. Going to start going to church. But yeah, apparently it's what he died from, but they didn't know enough about it.
Sure,
and
sure.
And medication, of which I was on for my heart, can make that happen. So that's what happened. I had a reaction to the medication, and I flatlined, and they couldn't really fix it without putting in a defibrillator.
Right.
So the problem with the defibrillator is it's huge. It's like the super turbo jet defibrillator, you know, like really, really good stuff, but it's big, and it, you know, they have to create a place in your chest cavity for it, and so the whole left side is so sore.
Yeah.
And it's slow to come back, you know. It's just like, as my friend said today, you're old. It's like, you're the same age as me.
Well, I went to the orthopedic surgeon last Tuesday.
Yeah.
My left arm is just great. Healed up fine. I can move it. Now, next month, we got to do the right side.
Oh, my gosh. They tell me that's the hardest thing, is to go in after, after you've had one side done, is to do the other side. But you came through it swimmingly.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And I've heard that that's a tough surgery to come through.
Thank God for medical marijuana. Because I won't take the hydrocodone. I'm just not doing it.
No. Actually, and now I can't even take across the counter stuff, because there's like almost every drug can trigger this. So it's like they're playing it safe, and the only thing I can take is potassium, magnesium.
Eat a lot of bananas.
Yep. And no, they're dead serious. Like, they don't want me, even though the defibrillator is on board, and they have figured it out. They don't want me doing anything that could disrupt this QTC, which I never heard of before.
Uh-huh.
And it was nothing serious. It was something that was considered, called benign.
Right, right.
So, and they showed it to me on the EKG, where they were trying to explain it to me. And it was like, here's your old EKG, where you could see the slight little blip. But then, and you see 30 seconds of, no heartbeat. Yes, that can.
That's dead.
Yeah, that's dead.
Well, and people don't realize that, and my brother sums it up rather easily. There's 2 different cardiologists. There's the plumber, and there's the electrician.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lee, I didn't even know that.
Well, we learned this thing, with my brother's passing, because it was, Dave had the kind of heart attack that would never show up on a medical report.
Right.
Right.
And, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
So what's the difference then, the plumber and the electrician?
Well, the plumber is
for your arteries and
your
stuff.
arteries and your ventricles and all that.
Okay.
But then there's the electrician, which is what Donna went through, where you're just not firing correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
And the plumber is the one who brought in the electrician. You said it very well, Lee, that the plumber brought in the electrician for a consult. And I was in the hospital already, and he was, coming into Vero. And so, he was just coming in for a consult with Jim and I. And he took one look at the EKG, and he was like, oh, get her into ICU right now. and that was the beginning of the end. It was like, okay, checking in, not checking out kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, you know, when my dad died, he said, I'm so glad I'm suffering from cardiac and not cancer or anything else, because they know everything about cardiac, and that was in the late 70s. And I'm going to tell you, you know, they've grown by leaps and bounds.
Oh, yeah.
And I also want to say that I had 13 doctors working as a team.
Wow.
And I will never forget that. Also, I'm sorry, hang on one second.
Yep.
I also want to say, if you love somebody and you think they're slipping away, scream at them as loud as you possibly can. Your hearing is the last thing to go.
Right, I know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think I told Joe, when you came to visit at the hospital,
You could hear everything. Yeah.
I could hear everything.
Right.
And to me, I was in this peaceful sleep. I was happy because I hadn't been able to sleep, and I had fallen off into this peaceful sleep. And I could hear the code blue and the crash cart and my favorite male nurse screaming, I'm not leaving her. Somebody's got to cover my patients. Get her into ICU, surgical unit. And I'm thinking, no, I'm going home. But they're not talking about me. And I really,
crazy.
I mean, I was, well, and the situation was, do we have time? I can tell you because it's pretty creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got all kinds
I
of time.
told you this is finally your legitimate show.
Yeah.
It's all about you today,
Not
Don.
us.
Well, my best friend in the whole world, Sheila Henderson Walker, who I've loved forever, and she was constant.
She has a lot less name than you do.
Yeah.
Well, she was constant, and I had flatlined on a Friday, and it was Saturday, and they had stabilized me, and I was in good shape, and my numbers were fine, and I was good to go and off, you know, all medications except for the heart medication, and she came by, and I said, they're releasing me, and she said, no. no, you just, no. And I said, shutty uppy, yeah, they're releasing me, and I'm very happy because I've been here like 2 weeks. I need to go. And I was very excited, and she said, well, let me sit here and watch you eat lunch, and I'll drive you home. So I called Jim to say, Sheila just happened by. She's going to drive me home. And he sounded a little, really? Like,
Yeah,
you
surprise.
don't want me to come get you kind of thing? And I was like, no, I'm good. She's right here. And they said my paperwork should be through any time. And don't forget, I need 13 doctors to sign off. So, you know, I've been through discharges where one doctor had to sign off and it took hours, but they said it should be right along. And so she sat there watching me eat lunch, and everything was fine. We talked, and then, you know, I was finished eating lunch, and my male nurse, Jesse, shout out to Jesse, he said, hey, your paperwork is coming through. I'm just going to go grab a sandwich. I'll be right back. And I said, hey, well, in case I don't see you, I want to thank you so much. He's like, no. Nobody's discharging you but me. I will be here. And I said, oh, okay. And so a little time went past, and I said to Sheila, you know, go home. It's Saturday in the real world. Go. And Jim sounded kind of weird that he wasn't going to be part of this, so go. And if I need you, I'll call you. And she said, okay. She said, you sure? Yeah. Okay. Well, she must have passed the nurse on the hall leaving, because the nurse gave me the thumbs up. She said, your paperwork is through. You're going home. And I was like, yeah. And I was so happy. And then I was sitting there alone in my room, and I felt a little dizzy, and another nurse passed through, and I said, would it be all right if I laid on the bed? Because they'd already made up the room for the next person. And I was like, would it be all right if I laid on the bed? And she goes, of course. Are you feeling okay? And I said, yeah, no, I just need to lay down. That was all she wrote.
Oh, geez.
And I just went night-night. And that's the only part that is, it was so peaceful. And I was so happy that I was sleeping because I couldn't sleep I can't sleep in the hospital, And I just I was like, oh, thank you, God, I'm sleeping. Oh, this is beautiful.
You were sleeping all right.
Yeah.
You were going for the big nap, the long nap.
The dirt nap.
Right.
And I was just so happy that I was asleep and, just felt so good. And then I could hear people screaming, where's the crash cart? Code blue, 339. And I'm like, what? No, they're not talking about me because I'm going home. Total denial. And then I could hear my nurse, my male nurse. I'm sorry to keep calling him that, but he was so cute. And he's like, I'm not leaving her. Somebody's got to take care of my patients. I'm not leaving her. Get her to ICU, surgery, stat. And I'm thinking, they're not talking about me because I'm going home.
Not really.
Nay, nay. Nay to that one.
Mm-mm.
And I could hear my other doctors, and say, Donna, stay with us, stay with us, stay with us, and like grabbing my face and doing all that. And it was just like so
you mean
surreal.
If I was in the room, I could have sat over top of you on the bed and slapped the snot out of you, which you had coming.
Anyway.
No, that's exactly what happened the other 3 times where people just, and big guys, they were big, giant guys that jumped on top of me. I never got...
You've had that happen before.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Only because we are so going to let you ride on that one.
Oh, and yeah, because at one point I did wake at, I began becoming awake and aware as they were racing me to the, hey there, as they were racing me to ICU, and I became aware that they had ripped my robe off, and I was kind of naked running through the aisles, and I remember going, oh man, I'm naked running through the aisles.
Streaking.
And they said,
so let me ask you a question. Were you naked at 32 or 62 when you were running through those aisles?
Oh, 62.
Yeah.
I was very aware, and it brought me back. It actually brought me back to my dad when he was dying.
Mm-hmm.
He said to me, he was in ICU, and he said to me, I feel so bad. There was a lady that was having a heart attack, and they ripped her clothes off, and I saw everything. And it kind of went through my head. But you know what? When you're that sick, you don't really care.
No.
And then I became kind of aware, and and I opened my eyes, and I saw the male nurse with the paddles,
mm-hmm.
and I said, "Don't paddle me! Don't paddle me!"
That's the first time you've ever said that.
You are correct.
Leave us to us to drag it into the gutter.
And I said, you don't realize that can be very, you see it on TV, you never think about it, but all of a sudden they're hanging those paddles over you, and I was like, don't paddle me, I'm awake, please don't paddle me. And the male nurse grabbed my face, and he's like, I won't paddle you, but you have to stay with me. Let's talk. You know how to talk.
Hence today.
And then I was kind of like lost for words, and he goes, "Do it with me, A B C D E F G." And so now, whenever I need to like calm my heart down,
You
sing
do
the
the alphabet.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Donna, I can speak for all of us sitting here, and they can speak for themselves as well.
Mhm.
We're just happy to have you back on
Right.
air with us.
Yeah,
And
we miss you and we love you.
you are healthy, and now that you sold the business, wealthy and wise.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
And God was looking, and so many people in the hospital came by and said, "We wanted to see the girl with the angel on her shoulder," and
Oh.
it was true in so many ways that.
That was Vinny yelling, "Turn around, bitch! There ain't no room for you here."
You said that about your brother too.
Yeah.
No way, no.
Not yet.
I mean, the semi-retirement at the time that it happened. I mean, it was perfect timing because I could concentrate on feeling better.
Getting better.
And
Yep.
and there was a lot more.
It's a good damn thing you didn't go home.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, I would have wound up dead in my
Yeah.
best friend's car or my husband's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I had fallen, quote unquote, asleep in either one of their cars, they knew how much trouble I was having sleeping.
Mhm.
They would have let me sleep,
Yeah.
and I would have been dead.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have ever turned
Well,
around.
Let me do a real quick Waldo plug.
Hey, of course.
Yeah, Friday
That's
night.
why we're here.
Yeah.
No, today we're here about you.
Yeah, it's all you. It's always all you, but today's special.
Okay, Friday night this week, we are silent on the music schedule. Due to a uptick in COVID, our scheduled musician was unable to attend. Saturday afternoon from 1 to 4, we have Uncle Dirty. And Sunday Fun Day.
Yeah.
Dave and the Wave from 1 to 4 as well.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Love that.
And guess who's working Sunday night?
Yeah. So Donna, hopefully next week
We get
can
to see you.
we
Yeah.
can have you in the
I'll
chair.
be there in person. I feel very good about it. I've had 4 beautiful straight days of energy.
Mhm.
Excellent.
And
Good.
yeah, I'm on the mend, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we got to wrap it. We love you, Donna. and
Yeah.
Love you.
Can't
Love
wait
you.
to have you back in the show with us.
All right. Bye, honey.
Thanks, honey.
All
I'll
right.
see
Bye.
you guys soon.
All right.
Yep, bye.
Everybody else, see you next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
For the latest on the greatest place to hang in town, with ocean views, delicious food, and good times. About, hey, darling, do you want to know what's going on? Listen up to Lee and Joe and get your giggle on. The world according to Waldos. The world according to Waldos. It's the world according to Waldos. It's a WORLD according to Waldos. Get yourself down there today. Hey.